Welcome back, episode 100.
Wow. That's exciting.
A round of
That threw me off for a minute.
That we
Scared
made it
Lisa.
to 100.
Yeah, we're still there.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So
Um,
we're recording this on a Monday, so it kind of threw me off. So I wasn't all too prepared.
Lisa, is that true that Tyler's, even if it was on a Wednesday, how much more prepared would he be?
when we were at lunch today, he didn't even know what we were gonna talking about today. So that's how non-prepared everyone is.
All right.
But we're just
We'll shoot from the hip today.
Yeah, if it's really bad, we'll just re-record it. Tyler.
Okay, so the content that I did come up with last minute was since we're so big into Claude and kind of doing that whole thing with AI, I uploaded all of our segment sheets.
Oh, good for you. That's a lot.
Claude,
99 of them.
and then had it give me for our 100 episodes, give me the best of since the beginning.
That's cool.
So it went through every segment sheet. It's a little bit, there's not as much context in the segment sheets versus like trying to feed it the videos, but I don't know that Claude, and I didn't have enough time to copy every single link. But
well, with the videos, Claude would then, if it could decipher that, know who said what, which we do not have it in the segment sheet. Yeah.
So
especially Lisa.
2 truths and a lie is based. All of this, we'll get to some markets at the end, but all of this is like 2 truths and a lie, and what we're going to talk about today is the best of from the podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it would be nice to revisit a little bit.
Yeah, memory lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
So 2 truths and a lie. A, gold is up nearly 100% since the Pickers market launched its first episode. The word NVIDIA appears in episode notes for fewer than half of all episodes. And C, the Pickers market launched April 17th of 2024. Keith, you've been here the second longest, so let's...
Yeah, Tyler was the OG. I didn't come in until episode 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there, but been through most of them. I'm going to do a reverse order. So we're in episode 100. We're in mid to beginning of April. Intuitively, that makes sense. April 17th, because we were pretty good about hitting every week. There's maybe a holiday or two in there, so maybe he's trying to throw us being queued up, be a day or two off, but I think he's going to shoot that one as true. Now, the question, gold's nearly up 100%, so 2 years. Lisa will get this one. You should start with her on that, but I'm gonna say that might be true. The word NVIDIA appears in episodes notes fewer than half. It's fewer? Not, I'm going with it's actually more. I mean, we seem to beat that horse a lot, especially with their OG gang. That seemed like it was every episode conversation for... But conversations versus our sheets though
is different.
Yeah,
We could have mentioned.
I'm still
saying
saying B's false just from.
Okay.
I think you had another version in there because the version that I saw stated gold is up nearly 50% since the Pickers market launched in its first episode. I saw it with 50. I'm pretty certain about that. And then I'm like, come on, such an easy lie. I mean, it's more than that. Is it up nearly 100%?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I mean, it was 64 last year.
You're the gold queen.
I would say that's okay now, but I don't know. It threw me off because he changed that question, and the others were same. So I have to go with A is wrong because I think.
You think he's just messing with you?
Yeah, I think he's messing with me. A is wrong.
Keith is right. NVIDIA in our segment sheets was at least the word NVIDIA was said in more than half of our segment sheets.
Not surprised. I mean, right?
Yeah.
The biggest market cap for the last 2 years in the market, or during that time period, I think it came at one point in time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the biggest.
When I feel like every episode, anytime NVIDIA reports their quarters, we dedicate an episode to it. And so
the golden queen got her own answer wrong.
It's up like 96 point something.
But
I think
not 100.
Nearly 100.
But yeah,
yeah, she's gonna go back and.
But the thing is, the first version you had out, you said 50 up.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the lie. Obviously, it's the lie because it's more than that. And I thought, okay, now he's throwing me in a loop because I saw the unedited version of it. Whatever.
Well, so I sent it out and I was like, you know what? I should probably spot check this first.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because the Claude gave me the nearly 50%. And I was like, that seems a little low.
Yeah.
And so I went back.
They actually did some real
did
analysis.
yeah. So that is.
Well,
partly my
disappointed Lisa
fault.
didn't get that one right.
Well, I thought really he tempered with
Maybe did that.
something
That was
there
like
because of-
on purpose to mess because he knew that you were going to prepare. So he was like, I'm going to change this answer because Lisa's the only one that would have read it prior to
I
the
think
show.
so because I'm the only one who reads this stuff actually before, and I was like 50% is not true, and I was like, okay, 100% seems correct, but he is now messing with me. Anywho,
It worked.
it worked.
So it spit out a few different things. So predictions that aged well or didn't. The big cultural moments, market chaos episodes, recurring themes we're celebrating, and then some of the best spaghetti wall segments. So let's just take a little walk back.
Dang,
through
this would be a
memory
good
lane.
episode.
So at the beginning of last year, we made some year ahead predictions. And one of the predictions was that Lisa said gold would have another great year.
And look at that. What did gold do
Where's
last
the
year?
clap button on that one?
I think you all said it will be flat or not doing as great anymore because it had kind of a good year in 2024 as well. And I was like, no, it will do good. And I remember that I was the only one saying that. Well, I just wanted to get it
Just
out
get it on
there.
the record, yeah. All right. Well deserved.
Jeremy, blast from the past,
Yeah.
predicted the 10-year would end the year below 4%.
Where did it end at?
I think we were right around
390.
Yeah,
Oh,
something like that.
nice.
All right.
And then I called for 3 to 4 rate cuts,
Mm-hmm.
which
Oh,
Keith and I had a pretty big disagreement about.
Yeah, because I like to look a little longer. I'm like stretching my year.
But this was January 2025. So
Yeah.
I called for cuts in the back half of the year, 3 to 4.
Well, I thought there was cuts too. I just didn't think it'd be 4. And then, by the way, I'm also like to look into 2026, where it seems like there's no cuts coming. So
Yep.
we'll see
Sure.
who's eventually right.
And then this one was my favorite. Episode 46, March 2025. I apparently gave a deep dive on Broadcom's ASIC division, called it a big AI winner before it became a widely discussed trade.
Oh, that's another clap deserved. Nice
I'll take
job.
that.
Yeah,
So-
let's give a little insight here of Tyler's love affair with Broadcom.
Yeah.
Well, why,
Is it still a love affair?
why
It
you-
is.
It is.
Yeah.
Why do you like it so much too? What's your little history or some reason?
Well,
it's a little more tied to the normal stock.
So my dad
There we
worked
go.
at Broadcom so he worked at LSI Logic, and then LSI Logic got bought by Avago, and then Avago and Broadcom merged, keeping the AVGO ticker, but took the Broadcom name. I know you have a story about that.
Yeah, because they didn't pay for it, and so
The CEO's cheap, notoriously cheap.
so he said, "I'm keeping the old ticker. You guys aren't paying. You're merging here, so there
Yep.
we go."
But anyway, so my dad worked in there, actually worked in the ASICs division.
Nice.
And so I have a long history of my dad telling me about ASICs and the stuff that they were doing for specific companies. Some he couldn't disclose, some he could.
Yeah.
So I've always loved it. And so I knew a lot about the ASICs division, what they could do, which is the impetus of my love for it.
Certainly been a
AI
right.
space.
Yeah, no, it's been a great call, and you were early on it, and because that was one of the names that was always NVIDIA, and then
Mhm.
potentially AMD, and then AMD kind of so, and then
Yep.
Broadcom kind of not out of nowhere, but
Not
certainly
out
because
of, it wasn't out of nowhere.
no, but certainly less discussed as an AI
Mhm.
play, right? Because they
Yeah.
have the software division, which is about half of their cash flow, and
Mhm.
so but the other half really.
Well, and they always haven't been in like the AI space, right? I mean, the history of Broadcom pretty well too, where they get caught in that semiconductor cycle in different industries, and once they finally made their way into the AI, that's kind of when it started to take off a little bit.
Good stuff.
But big cultural moments. This is another one of my
Jesus,
favorites.
just reading this.
So Keith was right. He came on. We introduced him on episode 3.
Yeah, there you go, Lisa.
So for our newer listeners, it was initially just Jeremy and I on episode 1 and 2, and then we were like, you know what, Keith,
we need some real intelligence in here.
Yeah,
Horsepower.
Exactly. And
I don't know
so,
about that.
but the introduction episode, we did a little bit of roasting on Keith
A little.
because
Like
we
the
used
whole
to,
episode.
we used to have a couch.
I kind of missed that couch.
We used to have a
Yeah.
couch.
What was it? It was pink, red, or red,
Red,
dark
it was
red,
like
or
a-
something like that.
Pink or
Velvet, red velvet.
red.
Look Look like a psychologist couch,
right?
And so what Claude says is that episode sets the tone for what the pod would become personality wise.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean,
it's
it's
getting
right.
roasted. And
We just roasted each other up from then. I wasn't even part back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little leery of the podcast. What do you guys want to do this?
What was the couch thing?
Because I grew through college and after college, I guess I would say that I lived with a couple guys, and then it was basically the room they had was just a couch in an open. I didn't have a bedroom; it was just like an open thing. So I flopped on the couch. So I didn't have a. Then for a couple of years, for a short period of time, 4 or 6 months, I was building our house, and then I slept in my brother's basement, basically / couch again. So it was like I didn't have a problem.
But was it they kind of
20s,
teased you
30s.
because they said you were here and basically didn't go home and slept on a couch in order to make it to the on the podcast.
Yeah, that was part of it as well.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of couch time.
He's not leaving.
No, not leaving.
Episode 50, Jeremy's farewell. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy was a big part of
For
the
sure.
podcast from day one, and
We still talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
still talk
Shout
to him.
out to him if he's listening.
Yeah. In the show, we reflected on he started at Gradient when we had 1.1 billion,
Yep.
which at the time was a 6x from when he was here for the 8 years, I think.
Yeah,
Sorry,
almost.
Jeremy.
8 years. Because then Tyler and I, about a year later, so Tyler and I
Yeah.
are approaching getting closer to 8 years ourselves. We were a month apart, and we were at 1.8 billion when you and I started.
Yeah.
So,
big culture moment. I thought it was funny that it pulled this one out. Mr. Jay Guerin was on the podcast at one point. So we've actually only had
a couple guests.
couple of guests. We've
yeah.
had Jay, we've had Bilu, and we've had
Chad.
Chad, wrestler.
Yeah.
And Binger, I don't know if he's really a guest. He's part of GI, so, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that was.
but he's not often on the podcast.
I guess we
Oh, I
call
forgot
him
the
a
J,
guest.
the launching the Garen Grill.
The Garen Grill
Yeah.
was the episode title. And that one was really fun because we kind of just asked, instead of focusing all about markets, it was like, what are the people, we framed it as what are the people in the streets hearing,
Mhm.
and having Jay ask some questions and kind of going that route. So that was a good memory.
Yeah, he's great at it. I mean, actually the 3 guests we had have been really fun.
Mhm.
We'll probably, I know you and I talked about potentially having some featured guests, but I don't know, that might take some mic time away from Lisa, so we have to debate that a little bit more. Again,
Lisa,
no
no
words.
But for a very special guest, I would be happy to sit back, obviously.
But were you on with Bilu at all?
No, I was on with Chad.
With Chad.
Yeah.
But I think Jay Guerin, you 3 did, and Jeremy. And we
Yeah.
only have 4 seats in here. And I think Bilo also you 3 did with Bilo. I was only here for Chad. I think there was one time, and that was actually episode 50, Jeremy's farewell, where we were 5 people in here.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
That was a
Yeah,
tight
it's been-
squeeze.
That
it
was
a
the
tight
that
squeeze.
was the only episode with 5 people.
Oh, these are good memories, Tyler. I like
I
that.
know.
I like
I
how
thought
you
this was
put this
fun.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Market chaos episodes.
Oof.
So episode 51 was right after Liberation Day because April 2nd was,
Liberation Day.
Liberation Day.
well, was it
The
like a
announcement.
Monday? or Tuesday?
Tuesday, I think maybe.
Yeah.
But well, what day?
No.
Yeah, Wednesday. Must have been a Wednesday because it's
Oh, no,
shifts a year.
that
right?
that episode was
We recorded on Wednesdays, so it probably happened on.
because then April 8th,
No,
was it April 8th or 9th where the market rebound? Because we were,
8th.
we were-
I think 8th was the bottom. So I
we
think that
were
was a
in here.
Tuesday. Yeah. So Tuesday was April 2nd, I believe. Huh?
yeah, so
April
yeah,
3rd,
so it must
yeah.
have,
On
and
Wednesday.
then the day that they announced everything was all fine.
Yep.
We were actually down here, not even knowing that.
That's
it
right.
happened.
That's
Do you
what it
remember
was.
that?
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden we go upstairs, the market's up 9%.
Yeah. Tariffs it's all solved, right, Lisa?
Episode 17, the correction episode where Jeremy came back from being sick to find things fell apart. August 2024. What was that?
Yeah, what
Just a
was-
normal correction?
No, I think maybe falling apart in the team.
No.
No.
Markets. What was going on in summer of 24? Probably just a pullback.
Yeah.
But any pullback seems like it's just like now. It's,
Disastrous.
I have-
headlines right now, it feels like the
Yeah.
market's down 30-40%. And I think the S&P year to date as of this morning was down 3.5%.
Yeah.
It seems
right.
there's a little disconnect between what people feel emotionally.
But people,
same
people
here.
also think about it from the highs.
Yeah, almost not quite 10 though.
But it's not
No,
even
right.
like 7% from
Yeah,
the high.
it's
So
not
not even that is like,
Just we get a little spoiled here. So.
yeah, we get
Yeah.
a little spoiled from the last couple of years.
This one was good. Episode 40, January of 2025, DeepSeek. When DeepSeek was first announced, the question was, is this a sell NVIDIA now moment?
Do you remember what everybody answered? I don't remember.
I think we said no.
I said, yeah. And pretty sure I said no. And I think most of us said no as well.
But-
even though we were talking about that, we were getting to the point of even Jeremy, him and I have a little longer history. We were talking about at some point in time, there will be an NVIDIA moment, but I just didn't think it would be that point in time.
Lisa,
But
can you
there was
remind us what DeepSeek was? Sorry, go ahead first and then.
There was like also a moment when we discussed when it was it when NVIDIA hit like 4 trillion, or when we kind of when will it hit? We kind of made bets. When will it hit?
The prediction of or it was going to go up another trillion or down a trillion.
Right. Was it like when we predicted when it hit like 4 trillion, or was it for 5 trillion? I don't know.
Either there, 3 to 4, and I was probably wrong. I would have thought we.
Yeah, I think it
peaked
was
out.
still when Jeremy was here, so it must have been early last year as well, around at that time,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
that we
Do you
kind of-
remember? You want to talk about what DeepSeek was?
Oh yeah, DeepSeek. That was interesting. That came kind of out of the blue. And we were so focused on AI development and ChatGPT and all of that in the US. And then all of a sudden in China, people said, hey, we have DeepSeek. We just, have the same thing, the same capabilities, but only spent like a fraction of the cost. And everything went down the drain in the US. And then again, it's like it was a surprise. And usually when surprises hit markets, it's usually negative in the first time, and then we all calm down and we all figure out a little bit more and learn a little bit more about it. And then we figured out, oh, it's maybe not so bad in the end, because these things are, we didn't know, is that really all true what was said? Was it really trained so much cheaper, or just on the backbone of what was already out there? The interesting thing though is what makes me a little nervous. I mean, there's so much going on that's very low on the priority list, but
which is crazy, right? Because there used to be things.
it was such a big thing.
Yeah.
But it's over a year now ago, and we haven't heard a whole lot from there. But I think DeepSeek was the very first moment when the world realized, oh, they are not as far behind as we all thought they were. And even though it's not completely the truth what they are saying, what it could do, but at least they're, on our heels. And I don't know, it went eerie quiet since then. And so I don't know what they're up to at the moment.
Didn't they find out that they actually did use
NVIDIA,
the expensive NVIDIA GPUs anyways?
Yeah, and I think
secretly,
yeah,
because they weren't supposed to have them.
And it was, in the end, it was very much more expensive than they initially stated.
Yeah, it was like a fraction of the cost. Didn't seem quite right.
But yeah.
But I mean, you read stuff now on AI, and it's
easy
still
to
around.
talk about it
They're
in
still
hindsight,
around.
right? But at that time, it was really scary.
Have you guys ever looked at Perplexity AI, which is another chat, just like ChatGPT or Claude?
I tried it a little bit, but it is not.
I didn't like it.
I don't know.
And
it's
expensive. It's like $25 a week too.
I'm out.
But you can choose that. You can use OpenAI's models. You can use Claude's models. You can use
it's like a model of a model.
You can use DeepSeek's models. Yeah. Or you can have it like kind of
aggregate everything for you.
But it was really slow. I wasn't a big fan of it.
I suppose if it's probably running multi LLMs and trying to come back with different interesting
recurring themes worth celebrating. AI. We had in episode 8, is it a bubble? All the way through.
Oh, we started early with discussing if it's a bubble or not.
June of 2004. That's
nice.
We're on the
early.
cutting edge.
And then we also, in episodes 80 and 81, I guess we compared it to the financing and .com bubbles to see what that comparison looks like. And then it says that the show basically documented the entire AI investment cycle in real time.
Wow. Well, that deserves a clap, Tyler. I mean, that's yay team. So if you're listening out there, we're keeping up with all the stuff. And
keeping up, yeah.
Giving
So
you all the
we're on the
secret
beat.
sauce.
Stay with us for the future, because apparently we are the bleeding edge of what's going on.
tariffs went from a background concern to consuming nearly every episode from March to May 25.
Yeah, that's a good
The
one.
Liberation Day trilogy, episodes 49 to 51, is a mini series unto itself.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
No, it was good. Yeah, Liberation is a big deal. So it's obviously we just anniversaried it, so it was interesting.
Last week was the Liberation Day anniversary.
Thursday, one of our advisors we work with, her birthday as well.
Oh, really?
So I kind of always kiddingly, and I don't wish her happy birthday. It's happy Liberation Day.
It's interesting, right? Because it's a year later and we're still talking about tariffs, but differently than we did last year. Last year, everyone was in shock when we first kind of got the whole, first initial view of what it will be. But like a year later, we're still talking about it, just in a different way, right?
Think about that, and that
all
the concerns out there. I just had this conversation earlier today. It's like just a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, when the Supreme Court overturned the tariffs, and everybody, such a big deal when they got announced, and then the market sold off, and then it, rallied,
and the markets barely budged.
And it's like everybody seems to forget about that, or it's just a little bit weird.
But
sometimes.
I think that kind of takes it into perspective again, like what the market is really concerned about from the same topic in one year might be completely on the back burner a year after, because
it doesn't seem like it's even anywhere near the front page.
Yeah.
It's such a game-changing event.
When we spent a lot of time talking about it.
It's a trilogy, apparently. It's like Lord of the Rings.
The consumer. So episode 6, we initially started asking, is the consumer tapped out? So that's back in middle of 2024.
That's how long we are talking about the consumer, and the consumer is still dragging along.
Last year was kind of the K economy, so that even accelerated, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of early, right?
It says, and the show kept revisiting that question for 94 more episodes. By episode 85, it had evolved into the K-shaped recovery economy.
Look at
Don't
that.
even read the notes. My memory was right.
Yeah. But it is interesting, just the evolution of how we talk about consumers. And initially it was every consumer, and then it turned into, the top 20% income cohort is doing just fine versus the bottom 20. And it obviously leads us into that conversation of K-shaped economy. But it's interesting, the evolution that we go through it.
Which reminds me, I get back to my taxes. Speaking of incomes and consumers.
I thought
have you guys done your taxes already?
I have.
I outsourced that to Dominic. I was like, this is your job.
Outsourced, but it's still internal.
It's still internal, but
Tyler,
outsourced to him.
I just use TurboTax.
Same here.
They are charging you like $300 for it.
Who?
TurboTax.
No. You can buy like $50-$60 for the
what?
software.
Dominic told me you're charging.
Oh, you know what that means?
He's sourcing out.
He's outsourcing and he's keeping the margin himself.
I think so too.
You better go home and have a little bit of audit on Mr. D.
I probably audit his work there now that I know it's only $60. Okay, good that I peer review.
He's signing
a
up
bit.
for like all the
extra add-ons.
No, he does not, because he's too greedy to do that.
Well, I guess he's put one over on you.
He's look into that.
Yeah,
I have to get.
Stay tuned for next week's episode. We'll give you a Mr. D update.
I have to get to the bottom of this.
Best spaghetti wall segments. Keith, you remember this one? The Walmart rap battle, episode 19. Keith owned it, made a case for it. Jeremy doesn't. And then I got to pick the winner. I think I picked Keith.
He did. Yeah, it was kind of fun. It was Jeremy's idea. He put it out there because it was basically it was a valuation argument. He's a value guy, and it's like it's been such a good stock, even in this kind of good times and bad for the last 2 years. It's been just a great stock to own. So just good. Like to see my pick stood the test of time.
Yeah.
The Halloween episode 29, we did a segment that was stocks that scare you. And Claude says that is genuinely clever.
Wow.
So whoever put that one together.
Did you remember any of the stocks that we picked at that time?
No, we have to go back and look at
Yeah,
it.
That was interesting. If Tyler probably would have put a little more elbow grease in this thing.
If he put a little bit more,
Here's what I'll do.
Here's
what I will do. For next week's episode, I will come back with some of these like picks and decisions that we made.
Because that's what
I'll go
our
through the
listeners are
segment
probably
sheets.
interested in.
No, I
right?
know.
If we
Yeah.
can, if our picks kind of stood the test.
It's a little
of
short
time.
on time to sit there and go through all of it, but maybe this
It's
week.
very,
comes
very
down.
creative episode, but he probably could have put a little bit more effort.
A little bit more effort would be
Well,
nice.
I have in the background now in co-work, I have Claude like fully going through and creating notes on a bunch of the episodes. So,
Do you really?
Yeah. Trying
Interesting.
to train it on the way we do our segment sheets. And
come another 10 episodes, probably going to replace me and just have my AI couch guy.
We just put like a little, like, I don't know, a
Little
doll
bobblehead.
here, a little bobblehead.
Something with no hair and kind of a gray beard. And when Keith's on vacation.
What do you call these kind of these toys? Beanie Babies or whatever?
Beanie Babies?
Yeah.
No.
bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads the one with the heads with shit.
Labubus, that's the. Did you see how scary Labubus look?
Yeah, you kind of showed us one time. And just
That's
Kyle was really into.
Yeah, that's the latest thing, Labubus among
Labubus?
kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Like instead of Beanie Babies, now you can collect Labubus.
Okay.
It's horrifying, this thing.
It was.
One of them we did date, marry, punt.
Wow. That could be
We have to bring that back.
Yeah,
We have to bring some of that
we just got to
back.
keep it, make sure it's PG.
Yeah.
I
forgot we did that.
I did too, and it's like, oh, you're towing the line there. But I was all with advisors a couple months ago, and they were playing that. I'm like, what are you guys doing there? They're like playing that game with.
Oh, really?
With office people. I'm like, geez.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I heard the conversation. I just basically
this
turned around.
This,
and was
this
like,
was specifically for stocks. Let me rephrase: date, marry,
Yes.
punt with stocks.
Yes.
Ah, that would be bad. HR would be in here in a matter of
It wasn't
minutes.
us. It wasn't our company. It was a different group of
Um,
people. I'm like, whoa, I gotta go.
I gotta go. No, I cannot be in
And then,
connection with
Lisa, was this one yours? Episode
that was
57
mine,
and
yeah.
60. We did
I enjoyed
a
that
stock,
very much.
or is it a scam?
Yeah.
And then Lisa,
I think I told you different tickers.
Yeah.
And a synopsis of what the company does. And you told me if that's a real
yeah.
company or if it's
I
a
was
scam.
over. I did terrible. I didn't get one right. Like the
Actually, we should bring that back. You probably do not remember these companies anymore,
No,
so I
you should
can
bring it
just
back.
recycle.
Oh, just recycle. I still probably go 0 for 5.
yeah. So I think that was a good, fun recap. I mean, the last paragraph here goes through some of the things that the podcast has seen in the last nearly almost 2 years, because we're
Almost.
coming up on April 17th here. So yeah,
So what do we got there? Like, why don't you run down a little bit of the hits
Yeah.
there?
I think some of them are a little bit off.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it said 6 Fed rate decisions, 2 presidential elections, but midterms and
Yeah, that's
presidential.
fine.
Elections worth of positioning talk, which is true. I mean, there's different things that happen during
And
elections.
on top of that, there'll be at some point in time some conversations I'll pick up for us, probably summertime,
with
right?
midterms.
Yeah, midterms
sure.
coming up.
I mean, we're kind of hearing
Getting a
certainly
little bit
hear
on the-
bit of
It's
it.
ramping up already
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Actually, we could bring up that chart again about midterm election years, where the market kind of does what it's doing now, and then about what is it like
In November, after November, it
30
kinda
days out,
is
it
better.
starts to
yeah.
ramp back up, because you start to get a clear picture on
Mhm.
who takes what seats and how many seats turn over. So that'll be a good one to bring back. DeepSeek shock, Liberation Day, gold hitting 4,000.
Lisa, gold. So where's gold right now, Lisa? Let's talk about
Well,
let's
it
get a little
didn't have
fun
a
here.
very great March, to
That's
be
fine,
honest.
but where are we at roughly?
We are up 8% for the year still, up 8%. But since the beginning of Iran conflict, it behaved a little bit different than what investors would have expected for multiple reasons. But yeah, I think there's still a healthy backdrop. But yeah,
So it's
apparently-
about 4,600.
yeah. Oh yeah,
right now.
that's the
So
price. Yeah.
Where do you think the next 1,000's too
Are we
big?
closer here? Are we
There we
closer to
go. Why don't you
5,000
phrase
or
it?
4,000?
There you go.
I would say we are closer to 5,000.
Well, I know we're
How about the
Closer.
next
Yeah.
600 points,
But-
up or down?
yeah.
Up.
Well, that was the hesitation.
No.
I'm taking down. Tyler,
I'm
Yeah.
taking up.
look at you guys.
Okay.
Yep.
Just the global demand, the whole
Well,
fear
I think
trade or
there was a lot
inflation?
of.
What do you got
of-
for me, Lisa?
There's
Let's
a lot of
inform
reset happening.
some listeners here.
Well, there's a lot of reset was happening when the conflict started, and people, I think, were more expecting it, as a traditional flight to safety, that it's doing its thing when the conflict started. which it hasn't. Again, it's down for March, and since the conflict started, it's still up 8% for the year, which is great. It's still the best performing asset class at the moment. But again, there were some central banks sold off some of their gold stocks in order to brace for higher energy prices. Then there were some supply routes for physical gold interrupted, for example, through Dubai and all of that, which kind of impacted demand. Also, the dollar was stronger, which is good on one hand because dollar was pretty much weaker last year, and the last couple of months there was a reason why gold performed so well, because when gold is weaker and gold prices are usually denominated in US dollar, when gold is weaker, it makes it more affordable for international buyers. So that's good for gold. Now it has reversed since the start of the war. So the ultimate flight to safety was the US dollar, which didn't help gold. Then interest rate decision came down, I think, from the beginning of the year, 2 to 3 rates expected. Now that has completely reversed. Now it's about 0 or potential hike. Higher interest rates is not good for gold, not a good backdrop. That expectations. So I think that was, and it did so well over the last year. So some advisors were just repositioning and I think taking profits. So I think that was part of why it did not fulfill completely the expectations of the traditional safe haven asset due to global conflicts. But I think going forward, I mean, it's still very, the backdrop I think is healthy.
All
so
right.
yeah.
Fair enough.
I ran on a rant here. I'm sorry.
No, I saw that disease. I thought it would be a short answer. I didn't really get you really going there.
To finish it up, S&P, the podcast was around for the S&P posting back-to-back 20% plus years.
Man, I think it coincides. Perfect.
I think so. And so then according to Claude, not a bad pod that started with a question about whether anyone under 40 noticed baseball season had started.
Wow. Tyler, baseball games? Have you watched anything yet? Have you?
I have not.
You're aware it started.
On the drive home. No, the drive in this morning. They were talking about Twins. The home opener is tomorrow.
But
really,
they've had like 9 games.
They've already had 9 games.
Yeah.
Wasn't the home opener already happening?
I thought that was
season opener.
Okay.
But I don't think they've had a home opener yet.
Oh, yeah, that was this weekend. You sure?
Well, maybe.
Maybe they're talking about this weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was.
This weekend.
Reason I asked. It was this weekend because
I don't know.
Yeah, clearly you haven't watched any. I haven't watched any. I forgot how it started to this point, but then we had my wife's family over for Easter yesterday, and they're a big Twins fan, and they turned it on because one subscribes to MLB. I'm like, and I heard the other night they had like 2,000 people in attendance because the weather was so bad and the Twins are just terrible, and fans are kind of looking for a change in ownership. So it literally was like a handful of 1,000 people there, which is embarrassing. So anyway, it has started, and I don't think anybody has a whole lot of interest.
And it's pretty cold, right? To sit there when it's cold still, and outside it's kind of miserable.
How was it? Let's quickly wrap it up with how was Easter, Tyler? How the kids, the boys had a lot of fun?
Easter egg hunt. Like all they want to do is find Easter egg. They don't even care if anything's in it. They just want to go find it.
Perfect age, when they get older, they have to throw some cash and stuff in there, something.
Yeah.
Lisa, was it just a nice weekend?
Yes, we celebrated with friends.
Oh, good.
There were also some kids, so we brought also the Easter bunnies and all of that, for the kids, and we had a blast. We were inside because it was pretty cold on Saturday. But yeah, we still had a little family gathering without family, so to speak. Yeah.
We had good. That's the reason I kind of chuckle bringing it up so I told you, I think last week, the 3 college age kids, now we have to hide a basket with some candy in it. And so we did that on last night and Sunday night, Easter night. But think of a basket size of a football. So fairly sizable, right? So they're not just in a basement. It's a good sized basement, but mind you, to find something shouldn't be very hard. So we hit them in good enough spots where the one was found right away, and then one of the kids found the other kid's basket right by colors because they're so close, and she just kept it. So then my son found his, took like 5-10 minutes, it's like not long, and then the oldest, she couldn't find hers, and she was in a tizzy because the other one found her basket and she couldn't find hers, and just comical. Like here, college age kids just kind of squawking. So they made me laugh, and then they're like, "Oh, Dad, you couldn't find anything either at that." I'm like, "Yeah, let's find something." So we were sitting by the bar. We weren't drinking last night or anything, but I said, "Okay, let's hide one of these I think it was a whiskey bottle. I don't even drink whiskey. But so they hid that, and my wife, they hid something for my wife, about the same size. Sure enough, it took me about 10 minutes to find it as well. So kids thought that was pretty funny that day. I couldn't find anything.
Well, that's how we got the Uno reverse card here.
Yeah, I guess. But it was a good Easter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought it was a good episode 100. Just a little revisit
fantastic.
down memory lane a little bit. As unprepared as we were, I thought that came out pretty good.
And Lisa, she doesn't look too stressed for the episode, more importantly.
So next week we'll be back to your regularly programmed content. And
Lisa's providing it, so I'm sure it'll be a lot of details.
Okay. But other than that, thanks for listening for the 100. Like and subscribe.